But Sam Armstrong is here. He's going to roll his eyes. Can we have him on screen rolling his eyes the whole way through this next conversation? Let's talk right now with TalkSport's women's football correspondent, Uma Gurav, joining us to talk about that fantastic Lionesses victory last night in the Euros finals, retaining their championship, retaining their win and beating the Spanish team in that fantastic penalty shootout that was as nail-biting and horrific to watch as every single one of those shootouts is. But Uma, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, what a wonderful night it was. They didn't make it easy. They haven't made it easy throughout this whole tournament, have they? And I think, you know, the final lived up to everybody's expectations. It went the distance. They had to dig in hard. They went behind to Spain.
Well, let's face it, no, Spain clearly in the first half looked like they were going to win it. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think going into half-time, we were lucky not to be 2-0 down for sure. And I think at that point, you know, it could have been away from us, the game, but then something shifted in the second half and you just started to get this sense that nothing's going in for Spain and we're getting the chances. Alessia Russo, who's been incredible the entire tournament, stepped up, got her goal. Great play from her. And then, of course, you know, Chloe Kelly, the hero again. In 2022, she did it. She brought home the Euros for us. And she's made sure it's staying again. And England, you know, it's the first time they've ever won a trophy on foreign soil. Remarkable achievement for Serena Wiegmann, who wins her third consecutive Euros. She can't do.
Yeah, it's just another one for her, just another one for her. Look, there's no doubt that this is historic, this is big. Lots of people, millions of people have been watching it and enjoying it. I've said, you know, I've got a teenage daughter who loves her football. That was absolutely, you know, would have been top priority for her. She's abroad at the moment, but, you know, that would have been like, which bar are we going to be watching the match in? I've got Sam Armstrong in the studio with me. He's a right old misery guts. To be fair, he's not that keen on even men's football, but he'll watch the big matches in the big men's tournaments, the Euros and the World Cup. Tell him why women's Euros does matter. I mean, I don't know. Where are you? Are you with Alan Brazil? That look, women's football's fine, but it's nowhere up there with men's football. It doesn't matter as much, and which is where Sam Armstrong's view is, or do you think it matters just as much?
You know, for me, Julia, as a young girl who used to play football in the playground and I used to watch the boys play football, and I always used to wonder why I couldn't go off and play with them when they went to play it in, you know, professionally or play against other schools. This means everything, because this means that no young girl in a school will ever be told that again. She'll never be told you can't play football, because she could be the next Chloe Kelly. And I think it's, yes, of course, it's wonderful that they've won, but it's about the visibility. It's about the young girls and boys who've got names on their shirts. I know there'll be people who compare the quality of men and women's football, but I think if you're comparing it, you're going to rob yourself of the joy that is the game.
Well, exactly. But that's, to me, I mean, it's a terrible analogy, but it is just sort of, it's like comparing, you know, the over-21s or the under-21s. And they're like, these are different. In terms of the quality, it's massively improved simply because the women are now not amateurs doing another day job and then doing a little bit of training when they can. They're getting the money, they're getting the expertise, the physiotherapists, the psychologists, all of that makes the difference in the training. And that a lot of that comes down to money. They're getting the funding. But there is a difference between men and women physically. That's one of the reasons why, you know, I don't want men who think they're women playing in the women's game, because they have that clear advantage men have in terms of, you know, height, strength, power, muscle, their lung capacity, you name it. There is no doubt at all. The men's game is faster, it's harder. You know, any of those basic men's teams could beat these women because of that physical benefit. But we don't write off, you know, the Paralympics or a flyweight boxer because an able-bodied team or a heavyweight boxer could beat them, do we? We don't. It's a different competition, but our women are the best of the best.
Well, exactly. And, you know, I challenge anyone to come forward and tell me that yesterday wasn't one of the best games that they've ever seen. Forget men or women's football, it doesn't matter.
He's rolling his eyes again.
But look at Lucy Bronze. I mean, the England player who's just come out and said she's played this whole tournament with a broken leg. Hannah Hampton, the goalkeeper, who was told when she was younger she'd never play football again because she had a visual impairment. Yep. She saved 2 penalties in a shootout, in a final.
They were fantastic saves.
It's amazing.
Well. Yeah,
they were.
No, I mean, that's one of the things I really like about these young women is they're incredible role models. I'm always saying, but don't have footballers as your role models to these young men with these, you know, roasting, you know what I mean, all of that stuff. These women they look like, to me, the amazing team. They're as good at celebrating their wins as getting their wins. You want a night out with these girls, don't you?
Yeah, they're incredible role models, and they speak so highly of each other. They support each other, and that's exactly what you want from an England team. And I have no doubt this is the start of an era of even more success for them. And I think we should all get behind them.
It brings the money in, it brings the interest. More people go to the matches. There's more money. They get more sponsorship. And more young girls get the opportunity to take part. Right, Sam is he's sighing at me. He's rolling his eyes. Sam, come back, come on.
Right. Well,
here we go.
Let's just talk, for starters, some actual numbers, because facts don't care about your feelings. 11.6 million people watched last time. That's down almost 5 million from last time round, when 17 million people watched it. So the numbers are down. It's less than half of the number. 24.2 million people watched the men's game. So 12.6 million people in this country are just like me. More people than are like you,
I know,
who watched the men and didn't bother watching yesterday.
Most Saturday night shows don't get 11 million people watching. They get less than half of that.
OK, but 5 million people. You say it's so exciting that all these people watched it because there's going to be money, right? There's no money for women's football. It's money that comes from the men's football. That's how this. There
will be money in the women's football when more women are playing.
5 million people watched it last time. Couldn't be bothered to watch it this time round.
OK. He's off. Uma Gurav, we're going to have to leave it there. But unless you've got to quickly come back on that very quickly.
All I'll say is you don't have to watch them, but they're going to win anyway.
Oh, yes! She won that one. I'm sorry, she won that one. Thank you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. Uma Gura, TalkSport's women's football correspondent. She has to deal with Alan Brazil as well, guys. Come on.